Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of the Gauntlet community's open gaming weekend. We do this once a quarter where we invite folks to come on and play tabletop RPGs with us. And this is part of Star Wars Saturdays, which is a campaign, an anthology campaign that I've been running where I take different RPGs and I hack, tweak, or just slightly reskin them so that they would work to help us tell a story in Star Wars. I am running Swoop Gangs, which is a hack of 1%ers, the Outlaw Biker Gang. And the idea of Swoop Gang is you're bikers, except you have flying bikes, like the speeder bike you might have seen in Return of the Jedi, or if you're watching Disney Plus's stuff, there in The Mandalorian and especially in Book of Boba Fett have been a number of swoop bikes. Imagine a gang like the Nikto in Book of Boba Fett who get the kark beat out of them by Boba himself, that kind of thing. Except we're set on Corellia. You can see a bit of it behind me. Corellia is this heavily industrialized world. In fact, they are known for being the shipyards of the Empire. They created things like CNR systems and TIE fighters and Star Destroyers and all of the mechanics that helped the galaxy to be conquered by the Empire for a brief period, like 30 years. 3,000 years, but they lasted 30 years. Basically the, span of a few movies. However, in the timeline that we are telling this story, it is after Return of the Jedi. So Palpatine's dead. He went down a shaft in a Death Star that blew up. He will never be seen again, probably. Totally, because when people fall down holes in Star Wars, they never show up again. They go down Sarlacc, pits and all that stuff. They're just gone. Write them off. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But it's after Palpatine has died and the Empire is falling, right? Because we know from Mandalorian, which is set 5 years after Return of the Jedi, that there's still Imperial remnants. And Corellia, being the shipyards for the Empire, had a very heavy Imperial presence and has yet to fall to the New Republic. And that's where you guys are, in the grit and the grime and the heavy smoke-filled streets of Corellia. In fact, I think we'll go with Coronet City. Why? Because it's the only city named in Corellia, and I found a cool map. Those two reasons alone are why we're playing there. Our game is going to be technically kind of not technically, because that would mean we'd have to go to the MPAA. So figuratively a PG-13 style game. We do have safety tools, which everyone has taken opportunity to mark those. We have lines, which means it's a line we won't cross. We have veils on particular content where we're okay if it happens, but we don't want to shine a spotlight on it. And then ask first, which means it's situational, and we'll talk it through as a group. So with all of those safety tools out of the way, what we're going to do is go around the horn, as it were, have everyone briefly introduce themselves, at least give us your name, and then tell us a little bit about your swoop biker. Now, some of the PCs, this is a really exciting thing. It's all totally Adam's fault, and I'm excited about it. Some of the folks have not chosen their street name or their duracrete name. It's the nickname that their ganger has. And once we've introduced everybody, then folks will get their nicknames assigned. And I think what we're going to do is a 1-for-1. So if someone comes up with a nickname, then another person accepts. And by the way, the person who's playing the character, if you get a bunch of swoop bikers, like it doesn't do it for you, just say so. It's totally cool. This is just a fun thing we're trying out. But like if Adam comes up with the greatest swoop bike name first, other people get the first stab for the next one around, right? Because we know Adam's really good at this stuff. We don't want him to hog everything. Get it? Because that's the name of the stat and the thing. Hey, let's go around the horn now. Tyler, you get to kick it off.
Oh, I do. Well, cool. All right. Hi, I'm Tyler. I use he, him pronouns, and I am going to be playing, let's see, pull him up there. Yes, Kel Velmore, who does not have his name yet. We will find out what it is. He is treasure of the Broken Circle. His style is cool. He He has Be Cool as his big of the duo set. He is a thinker and a talker more than most anything else. He is kind of his expertise is smuggling, blackmail, and robbery. And he does a lot of, he's a smooth talking con man sort of guy who can also bring the threats when it's needed. He handles our money and he's good at accumulating our money. And money cred is a big thing for him. The success of the gang, he really thinks has to do with us having enough money to keep our Hollow show going, keep our bikes in good shape. And enough extra money means that some of it, make sure we all live real good. And living good is the reason to be a swoop ganger. He's a pleasant enough guy. He is really dedicated to the gang. He grew up on the streets, was taken in young. Don't know who our president is, but I think probably lifted him up early, or at least whoever was president at the time. And he really, from his earliest days running the streets, this was family. And as for his real family, I think his mother was someone who didn't have time for him, might have been involved with some nefarious things herself. And he has no idea who his father was.
That is very cool. That is very cool. There have in the chat been thrown some duracrete name suggestions that are pretty great. So take a look at those, Tyler.
I will definitely take Face. It is my first Shadowrun character's name, so it is screaming to me.
Awesome. Oh man, I love it. I love it. That is fantastic. Thank you, Tyler, so very much. Keith, you're up next.
Hello, Keith. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'm playing an also as yet unnamed duracrete named character who is a bit of a mechanic, slight of build, female, human or near human. She's not going to say. Kind of cagey on her background. Also never really explains why she speaks fluent Huttese, or at least every time you ask, you get a different answer. Has a cyber leg replaced on the right leg. Also not really forthcoming about that or anything else. Despite her slim stature and small frame, she is known for beating the crud out of people and is much more badass than cool. Very good with her hands as well. Some of that is the mechanic aspect of it. I don't know that I'd say she's ace mechanic. She's ace-ish. She has a lot of good ideas. The follow-through might be lacking a little bit, but your bike's going to go really fast for as long as it does go. The mechanical inclination extends a bit to slicing, a little bit of hacking with computers and droids and all that stuff. It's close enough to the kind of stuff that she does that she can manage it at least a little bit. Somehow ended up as the secretary of the gang and really does try to carry out those duties. But hopefully nobody actually needs to look at the notes because I can't imagine they're going to make much sense to anybody else. Good-natured, very high spirits, and pretty much goes 110% all of the time. Or, like there's it's full speed or off, I think are the two speeds that she has.
I noticed that you're tied for the best in hog, which would be our stat that commands your riding. Who taught her to ride?
Gosh. Is there anyone in our gang who's been there a long enough time that would be a possible answer? I'm guessing
Sean. Could Sean? Do you think Priest has been around for a while?
I was going to throw that out as a potential. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I like
sweet.
being somebody in the gang.
And then there are some names that have been thrown, although I think there's one that definitely stands out from the others. So which of those duracrete names do you like, Keith?
I love the double entendre of throttle. That is Very nice.
It's really, really fun. That's perfect. Awesome. Sean, we've already mentioned by name. Please tell us a bit about your character. Introduce yourself as well, please.
Sure. So I am Sean. I go by he, him. This is my second GCOG. Super excited to be here. My character, I chose my duracrete name. I don't know why. I guess I got nervous. People were going to choose a bad one for me. But really it's based off of my like role. When I picked chaplain, I just sort of thought like, priest sounds like a cool name. So I threw priest up. Priest's real name is Maddo Ravine, and he's been part of the Broken Circle gang apparently quite some time, long enough to start to kind of train younger members in how to ride the hog. He's good with the hog. He's got 3 in hog. He is also good with his hands, so he's definitely more of a be badass type. So throw fists when they need to be thrown, less talking, more punching. And I kind of liked that idea because he's a Rhodian. And I think, at least as we've seen Rhodians in like the Star Wars universe, you don't really see them as being big, beefy dudes who just sort of like come up on someone and lay down. So I kind of like the idea of throwing it, a little bit of spin on that. He's great at mechanics, which makes sense because if he's good with the hog, you're going to have to fix it up occasionally. But he's also known to kind of set some things on fire. And again, I love this idea of priests sort of like baptizing by fire, this sort of like, theme, if you will. And so in terms of the backstory, Maddo Ravine, abandoned by his parents, spent some time as a youth in a kind of like youth correctional facility that was run by religious folk. And when he kind of out on the streets was picked up by the Broken Circle gang because of his exceptional skills on a swoop bike, they heard that he was, had spent a little time in the sort of like church, that he could kind of, perform these feats amongst the gang. And he kind of got the title priest pretty quickly, even though, he doesn't know so much about being a priest, really. He knows about beating people up.
Nice. As the chaplain, people come to priest for counseling. What is his general approach to here's how we make things better, do you think?
I think the approach is less talk, more handle. And so it's about hitting things head on. It's about busting through walls. It's about laying down respect. It's about making sure people know that the Broken Circle gang is the top of the top. Whatever that needs to be done is what you need to do.
Nice. I like it. Cool. Let's see. Kai, I'd like to see you go next, friend.
Hi, I'm a pirate. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kai. I use they. That was just to make Rich laugh. I'm Kai. I use they them pronouns, and I am bringing in a former character from another Star Wars Saturday game, Lena, who she's a Zabrak, and she was left as a young child at a Sith temple, and learned about society from HoloNet reality TV shows. She was basically just a sweeper and decided that was the upward movement in the temple was not what she wanted, and so she became a glorified Uber driver, and she had she could pilot a little bit, and she helped someone like consensually be kidnapped, so she figured she might be able to work in a gang. Let's see. So she's got bribery because you got to get through customs sometimes, smuggling. The people that she was Ubering often had things that they shouldn't have, and mechanics because the ships always broke down because the company was cheap. She's a prospect. She does not have her duracrete name yet, and she's better at being cool than being badass. She has a hog of 1. So I'm guessing she has a hand-me-down, and she's about as good as a Tusken Raider at driving one. So
That's great. I love that we now in our lexicon could say rides a swoop bike about as well as a Tusken Raider. So good. Awesome. Thank you, Kai. I see some names have been thrown in chat. I reused one that someone threw out during our pre-recording chatter.
I didn't know if you were going for it, Kai, but kind of like the way it was juxtaposed with is a prospect and doesn't have a duracrete name yet. I was wondering, is that a thing like in game? Like until you're in, do you not have a name? Or I don't know what
That's
we would
what you
call
want.
you.
Yeah, let's see.
Unless just prospect.
It could be just prospect. We did discuss that. Yeah, so if I'll go with prospect, and if during the game someone decides that I'm worth it, Crash will be my duracrete name. So if there's a good moment to be knighted, dubbed Crash, I will take it. So we'll start with prospect.
Awesome.
A plus for a bad roll on Hog.
Adam, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I go by he, him pronouns. I am playing an Abedneto, one of the weird-faced newer Star Wars aliens. Chain code is Lay Hades because all Abednetos must be named after messed up Beastie Boys songs. He is a badass. He is not cool. He has a big heart. He lives his life 1/4 parsec at a time. He's good with his hands. He built his own hog after he joined the Broken Circle. He was thrown out of the White Worms for bringing too much heat on them. He is too violent, too over the top, had no head for subtlety. So Lady Proxima told him to get gone, and he was taken in. I feel like, I mean, just going by the image references on our characters, I feel like Face and Lay Hades might have joined maybe about the same time, you know, like kind of came up together, or maybe Face showed him the ropes, and that's cool with Tyler. I think they a cool like a brother.
Neat. I like that.
There. Yeah, he's good at vandalism, extortion, and theft. He's not really a nice person. He doesn't give many carks about anything. You know, that rolled really bad. But yeah. And yes, that is a picture from the game that Tyler and I both got our character images from.
I like that it is now baked into this game as well. Like, yeah, they came up together. It's a group shot.
And yes, and I don't have a duracrete name yet either. Oh, one and done. Meat. That's
Meat.
That's
good. Cool. I popcorned around, so just to check in that I didn't screw up. Everyone's gone and introduce your characters. Yes. Okay, good. I thought so. But like the pre-recording and the real recording got mixed together, and I was terrified that so rather than leave someone behind, I'd rather look a little dumb for a moment. Your swoop biker club name is the Broken Circle. You have chosen that your business, the way that you guys ostensibly make creds, is that you run a swoop bike shop, a custom shop, like Orange County Choppers ideas. So it's the Broken Circle is your custom swoop bike shop, and it's also the name of your HoloNet show. So you guys have, I guess, a production crew that films you. Maybe it's all droids. Let's see. Let's check in here. So we've got a secretary, a treasurer, an enforcer, a chaplain, and, as we already know, a prospect. So I think the enforcer is, I think the NPC droids is one person throughout. So is it like, one of the Imperial camera droids that we, if I remember, I saw in the prequels? What are those little floaty guys that floats around and maybe interviews the guys? Or do you have like a crew, like there are several people that will cut in? You think it's just a droid or several?
I do like at least having one of the little mushroom headed things that Amy Sedaris has in the scrapyard.
Yeah. I love it too. That is great. So you guys have a pit droid and maybe like a cam droid. So the pit droid and a little hover cam droid deal. Any other ideas that we want to throw out there? Otherwise, we'll move on. Your president and vice president are not here right now when we begin this game. Are they both incarcerated? Are they both in Imperial, like in the cube? So means they're like not just caught in a jail, but they're in prison? Are they off-world doing something else? Or are they recently dead?
Oh, what if they are at some sort of multi cartel summit on Coruscant, meeting with, like, trying to move our gang up in the world by meeting with some Hutts? They may not come back alive.
Nice. So we've got to name our president and vice president who are off world, trying to get you guys in with the cartel, really hook into something. You can maybe one of the two of them is not super into the Holonet show, but it helps pay the bills. So that maybe they're motivated to get you out of that. But yeah, let's give names to them. And of course we have a drop down on names. What Throttle, what is the name of your vice president?
Do we have the species picked out?
We don't.
All right, hold on. I'm going to the tab. I mean, Wookiee is too much. Is Wookiee too much? I want to go Wookiee.
I think you've gone Wookiee, and we are
Okay.
here for that.
Krull.
Krull, like the movie?
Yeah.
Nice. And then Priest, it seems like maybe you've been here the longest. Who is the president of the gang?
President of the gang. That's a good question. I like, for some reason, the name Fingers came to me, and then in terms of the like species. Well, I'm just looking at it. Why don't we go with a Ratataki?
Fun. I love the Ratataki. I like that a lot. What pronouns does Fingers use?
I'm gonna go with she, her.
Nice.
I'm gonna go
And then
with,
what pronouns do Throttle? What pronouns does Krull use?
He, him.
Cool. All right. Wonderful work. Maj 03, is that how we say the pit droid's name?
I was going Madge.
Madge. Nice. I like it. These are all good things. You guys have created an excellent starting situation for us. All right. Looking at time, we will be taking breaks soon, but I would love to kick things off. As a reminder, as much for the recording as you are rivals with a gang known as Black Heth. Black Heth, the person behind Black Heth is the queen, because they originally came from Coruscant, and Black Heth was led by Ebok, Queen Ebok, who was a Kuba's queen. She doesn't go out with the crew. Maybe you don't know where she lives. Maybe you do, but the Black Heth is the face of Ebok, and Larsabak and Gisabak are the president and vice president of Black Heth. Now, Meat, being the tough customer that you are as our enforcer, why do you guys hate Black Heft so much? What have they done to you guys to earn that enmity?
We used to operate a cantina, and they blew it up. There's a great place, random stuff all along the walls, at a nice, cozy place, like a home, really. And now we have to do this HoloNet show to make ends meet. It appeals to some more than others, but like, gone are the days where we would just ride and ruin.
That's rough stuff. So rough. And then Kel Velmer, if you could take a look on the NPCs tab, there are 6 members of Black Heft. They start on row 7. The ones with the Ride and Ruin, by the way, is a really good name for the cantina. That is awesome. So take a look at those 6. I don't think Lars Sabak and Gift Sabak make sense as the answer for this question that I'm about to throw at you. But one of those remaining 4 used to be part of your gang. Who left your gang to join Black Heft?
Oh, I think it's Voseg.
Oh, the Basilisk, you big guy. Oh, he's like 2 meters of muscle. Voseg, what kind of relationship did Voseg have with Priest? How do you feel about Voseg having left the Broken Circle to join Black Heft?
I mean, certainly I feel personally betrayed. I mean, he was one of my best friends. I mean, as 2 sort of like enforcer type meathead, stronger members of the Broken Circle. When he comes up, I can't even look when his name is mentioned.
Has Voseg just cut all ties, or is he antagonistic towards you, Priest, when the 2 of you have seen each other since?
I think when we see each other, he kind of, like nods, but there's always a sense of competition because he has to prove himself with his new group. And obviously that means he can't, show favoritism. So he's got to be extra intense, extra brutal, extra bloody just to show what he's, his current affiliation.
Can I make a suggestion that we at least are pretty sure he set the bomb to blow up the Ride and Ruin?
God, that's evil.
Talk about burning bridges.
And I think maybe Prospect, you don't know this guy, you just know him by reputation, and whenever his name comes up, it ends conversations. There's a lot of hurt feelings there. Do you guys badmouth Voseg on the show, Throttle?
Feels unprofessional. I mean,
So do you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, all press is good press, so don't give him any press. Get your own show.
Nice.
Like you could.
Oh, by the way, someone threw in the pick for Krull, and it is, love it. Love that. That is, I love that Black Sandstone. It's awesome. By the way, Black Sandstone, a character created by the Gauntlet's own Kieran Gillen. So, always good to know. Good thing, Kieran Gillen's awesome and amazing. He's slumming it with us. I'll take it though. We start off. We're going full hog with this HoloNet show. Full hog, get it? I'm going to use that several times this session. We're going to start off with Meet. You're on cam. Frimfram, blew it. Frimfram, our totally innocuous camera droid, is following Meet. You're in the shop, and of course, Frimfram is catching you performing a thing for the. What's the code word for stop recording right now that I'm doing illegal stuff that you use?
like more complicated than "Get out of here, Fram."
From always like shooting you from behind doors and stuff.
Right. It's like
Shake slightly, all this shaky cam. Yeah, so
I
you're
don't
doing
think
so.
Meat can remember a code word, so it is they're like, no, not now, or
No,
I'm
not now.
I'm busy. Yeah, maybe it's I'm busy.
I'm busy. Okay, but you're doing something for the club, for the shop, the chopper shop, the garage that can be recorded. So what is when the fram comes on and we begin this section of the recording that will later be handled in post-production? What is Meat doing?
Meat is actually finally detailing holographic decals on one of these bikes. He's down there. He's got his really, I mean, they have weird faces. So like, I imagine their goggles are a little weird also. But he's down there. He's got some sort of like a like a like a finger welder thing going on, like little droid fingers things that go across his wrist, and kind of in stark contrast to his physical presence. He's I feel like his hands are good enough. He's trying to do a little bit of like artistic. He's trying to blend this paint job, as it were, into this hull or fuselage of the bike, I suppose. It's got a like a flaming Minoc, and it's drawing in like electricity from where the intake would be on the side of the bike.
That's great. That is really, really good. So is Meat any good at narrating his activities, or is this a thing where Madge has to ask questions?
No, I think he's. Oh, all right. So yeah, so you gotta blend this gradient here, right? And what I'm doing, I mean Kark, hold on, undo. Hold on, I gotta now you gotta reapply this primer at a molecular level, and you gotta so when you make a mistake, Frim, you gotta, I mean, y'all out there, you gotta and so on like that. So he's kind of stumbling his way through it. He's trying to explain it, but more often than not, it's causing him to screw it up, which I think may be part of the appeal on the show.
I can see that there's like the Meat custom detailing, and
right.
whenever Meat has to answer questions, the detail starts to become less custom.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that a lot. And as you're there, we of course get to see the cameras. It's a drone cam, so it can kind of do a little bit of 360 view. It comes in, we see outside, and you're at the part of the garage that looks out into the street. It's open air, it's easier for lighting, that kind of thing. Throttle and Priest, you guys are out front. Are you completing a sale of one of your recent custom jobs, or are you guys having to deal with some like neighbor things where some complaints are coming your way? What do you think, Priest? What are you and Throttle dealing with when we pick up?
Yeah, I think we're waiting for someone to come and pick up a recent custom job. And perhaps there's like, I imagine we're in a sort of sequence of other workshops, and maybe we get in some arguments over like noise and soot and dirt and just like junk that sort of is overflowing from our kind of like garage area. And so perhaps like there's a neighbor person coming up and they're like, yeah, it's obviously just crap everywhere, but there's, if any reason for our neighbor to come over and kind of like give us a hard time, and kind of like also look in maybe and see what we're doing. And we're sort of like trying to like shoot people away, because if there's some looky-loos kind of like interested in our show, like what are these guys doing over there? They got cameras flying around. So perhaps we're kind of waiting out there, and then one of our kind of like neighbors is coming over and like giving us a rough time about stuff, but also trying to like look in to see the show and the cameras kind of flying around.
I like that. Let's say, since you are a big, you're big on the idea of a big burly Rhodian that your character is, maybe this is a Rhodian who's more the typical wiry, thin, skinny, and he runs I imagine that there's probably not restaurants or right around your shop, but he runs some kind of commercial business that has customers that come in and out. So
Yeah.
the bric-a-brac that's out front as you guys are throwing out scrap is a problem. Throttle,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? Do you think that he's like a reseller of like particular merchandise, or is he a weapon shop merchant? What do you think this particular Rhodian sells that you guys are giving in trouble or maybe driving away customers in his opinion?
This neighbor guy.
Yeah.
So we're in like a workshop area, is what Priest was saying, right? Like it's sort of industrialized, so it wouldn't be something where people with fancy sensibilities are coming in and getting offended at what we're doing.
Right.
You know what? I think maybe it's the opposite. Like, I think this dude also is on the shady side of the law and doesn't like the attention that the HoloNet show is bringing. And like, we've got fans coming in and like, but also maybe there's a little bit of dichotomy in there where also he's interested in the show. Like, but
right.
Why do you got to do it there? Shouldn't this be in a studio?
Yeah, he says, listen, can you guys just get this off the street? I don't like whenever my shop is in the shot because I'm across the way, and every time that the cam's outside, they see some of my people, and they run time logs and everything. You guys could just angle everything the other way. I don't mind the show. I don't hate the show. I just don't want to be in the show. I didn't sign a waiver. By the way, is there waivers to sign? Is there some kind of scale? Is that?
I mean, you're always free to move your shop. Maybe another one will come open. Hey, do you remember why that shop came open again? Priest, didn't the old one burn to the ground?
It burned to the ground.
I don't know anything about that. Wait, was that a threat? Was that a threat? Are you threatening me?
And then since I'm specialized in arson, I imagine I have some sort of like some sort of torch or something down. Butane
light the Bunsen burner
exactly
thing.
the Bunsen burner, and I just kind of like click it.
I'll totally light up a death stick from that and be like, threats are so amateurish.
I love it. Let us put this to dice. Are you intimidating? I'm going to call him Dodo Onion. It's ANYN, but if you want to say it like onion, that is totally cool with me. Let's see if you guys cow Dodo here, or if he's going to later cause some trouble for you. So I think you're being badass. Who do you think's leading this? Is this a Throttle thing or a Priest thing?
I guess I said it first.
Yeah, it seems most like a Throttle thing since you initiated. Yeah, but
Well,
I can
you
kind of
also
back you
have
up. I don't know, with my like and the flame in the background.
Oh, cool. So if you want to give a kark that way. By the way, I don't know if did you roll for karks, meat?
I rolled a 1, so DC plus 3 is 4.
I mean, that's a shame. I'm really sorry to hear that.
I have to, that's fine.
Did you even remember to do that?
I was just checking. Just so you guys know, also, that is at your max. That's just where you're at right this moment when we begin this game. You can gain more, you can lose it all that good stuff. So, Sean, what you were saying about Priest maybe backing up by doing the Bunsen burner thing, you could totally throw a kark to Throttle's roll if you would like.
I'll throw a kark. Why not? Let's do it.
Oh, which means you decrease your karks by 1, and that would increase your total pool of dice you're rolling by 1. Let's roll through for Throttle. You're being badass. I think you guys are trying to intimidate. Not poor Dodo. I mean, Dodo's. He's Nereton. He's Rhodian. I think he sells illegal weapons for you, like files and them off maybe. So which of the things do you think you're bringing to bear here? I
mean, if it's talking, is it jaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And are we assembling a dice pool? Is that the idea?
You are right now assembling a dice pool. So you got 3 for being badass. Jaw is 2 more dice, and then the kark that you got is 6. Do any of your expertises apply?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Do you want to kick any of your own karks? Now, here's the thing. You can only spend 1 kark to help somebody else. But if you're doing the thing, you can spend as many karks as you want.
Is 6 dice relatively good? It feels.
That is a great question.
of
I
good.
am going to set your difficulty so you can judge that for yourself. I'm going to say that this is, as Rich quickly goes down to the difficulty numbers, which I took out of the character keeper for some unknown reason, and I have to look in our doing stuff summary. Come on, where am I difficult? There we go. I'm going to say this is a normal difficulty, which means you need 2 successes. Like success in this game is a 3, 4, or 5. I am also declaring that because you guys got him outnumbered, he doesn't have a gun, you're not in an actual physical fight, that tension is not involved in the roll, which means it's just a pass or a fail. You get 2 4, 5s, or 6s, and you're good to go. You succeed. If you fail at it, you just fail, and yes, it'll cause some complications down the road. But you don't lose any karks out of failure, which is what tension does.
Okay. All right. I feel like 5 seems eminently doable.
Seems good to me. It's actually 6 because you got a kark from.
Oh yeah,
6.
6. So just 66.
Correct, 66. You can just type that at the quick roll line if you want, so you don't have to add dice, or you can add dice and name the roll, whichever you prefer.
All right, let's see if I remember how to do this.
That is a good roll.
So yeah, 4 successes.
4 successes. Dodo looks at the 2 of you. The Bunsen burner thing, along with Throttle's casual mention of the last place burning down, not so casual. He takes a step back. His hands. Rhodians, they have long, skinny fingers that look little suckers on the end of them. So we hear as it just kind of touches his blaster for a second, but he puts his hand off. Like it's cool. We're cool.
I give him the death stick I have and light up a different one.
Oh man, he's got that proboscis.
No hard feelings.
It's his proboscis, mouth there. The snout thing sucks on it for a little bit. He coughs slightly. Yeah, no hard. Nope. Oh, this. You guys are missing out. You should really get the name of the shop on your death sticks. He turns and he'll start heading back quickly to his weapons shop.
We can have Face get you a release if you want.
Yeah. Send the prospect over, he says over his shoulder. I'll sign her form, he says. He goes inside and the door zips.
I don't think I like your tone, mister.
He doesn't have a very good tone. All right, we are at the halfway point, so we are going to take our mid-game bio break. All right, we jump back in after Dodo has been run off, causing you no further troubles, but you've got your own troubles. We've seen Meet Priest and Throttle, so I'd love a scene with Kel, who we have, of course, our face man and the prospect. Face, what are you doing for the show and involving prospect? Maybe this is the first time you guys have allowed the prospect on camera. I'm not sure. That's totally up to you. What's going on?
I have an idea.
Ooh.
Since we're both the head 3 people, I thought that maybe we have like a wind tunnel to make sure that our custom swoops are the most aerodynamic kind of stuff. Yeah, but it doesn't work right now. And so we're trying to fix it. Like it'll spin up and it'll go for a few seconds, and then something will cough or smoke will come out or whatever. So that's my idea. Please feel free to edit that in any way.
No, that sounds cool, though. We neither one are great at tools. We certainly can work through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're busily working on that. Looking up to what is it? Flim Flam?
Frim Fram is your camera droid, but I think you're being interviewed as you work on this by Maj03.
Okay.
Keith, is that how am I saying it correctly? Maj or Mage?
However you want to say it. Mage actually might be easier.
Okay. All right.
He's a real wizard at directing. Mage.
Who broke the tunnel? Please tell us, Face. Why are you fixing it?
This is just normal wear and tear. It's not, no one broke anything. When you have a high quality sort of operation like we do here, you have to make sure that everything is perfect. That's why we produce the very best swoops on the planet, if not in the galaxy.
So
When,
you are sure that this is not sabotage from the Black Heth?
I don't want to put out rumors or give ideas. No, this is normal wear and tear. And we got Prosp here having this moment to show a little bit of her skill.
So rewinding time just a little bit, I was behind Kel the entire time. And when he said things like, perfect, she was shaking her head. When he was like, just weren't normal wear and tear, she's shaking her head. When the director says Black Heth, she's like shaking her head. So,
she's
Have
new.
you fixed a wind tunnel before, Prospect?
well, it's similar to things I've seen fixed. So yeah, I think so.
You sound extremely unsure, Prospect.
Then I'm sure. Okay.
Okay, I will be filming your attempts to fix the wind tunnel, Prospect.
It'll knock your socks off. Oh, well,
The pit droid's
have,
single eye
socks.
just kind of zooms in on you a little bit as you are moving in to fix up the wind tunnel, and Face, your comm unit goes off. It is, I know that in actual Star Wars we only see like a few comm units and they look like a lipstick case. Probably that's what they were. But I kind of imagine the idea that your general comm unit also comes with like a little bit of text information, like so you know who's calling, if you know who's calling, that kind of thing. And the code sequence that comes through it on Arbesh Face, it reads, it's coming from off world.
Mage, we're busy.
Yes, I'm aware. I am filming the imminent failure of the
Scoot,
Prospect.
Mage. We got business to handle.
Oh, are you nice? Like you don't punch him in the nose to where he collapses? You just let him go?
No.
Aw, that's so thoughtful. He will amble away.
I'm all for droid rights.
I just tell him I'm going to go use the bathroom and he leaves me alone.
Frost, we got something coming in. Yeah, Face.
Face. It's Fingers. We've got something really good. Can you pull everybody together off cams? This is not for the show.
Absolutely. Give me a sec. And I'll kind of head out of where we are and kind of be keying into my communicator to bring everybody. I think that since we have this show, we also have like a room they never go into.
Okay, so this is not the confessional room. This is your
No.
conference room where you talk business.
And where illegal things are stored.
Yeah, maybe on the back wall they're like, blaster rifles and stuff up on display kind of thing. And Priest, what's another thing that is in here in the gang's conference room that talks about a bit of their history or one of your conquests or something you're particularly proud of?
Maybe like the carcass of one of the swoop bikes of the Black Heth. So like one of the leaders of the Black Heth, like
Wow,
mounted
that
on
is
the
dark.
wall. Yeah.
Okay, I'm into it. That is cool. You guys come in and again, hand waving a little bit of technology, maybe you like connect the comm unit to a
Yeah, I
little
can see
hollow
plug
that's
it in for
playing
the
you.
hollow. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
So
Well,
when we come in the room, like tradition requires that we touch the Black Hef sweep gang swooper.
Ooh, like it.
Like you have to touch
I
it.
like
when
it.
we-
Yeah, you gotta touch it.
Does Prospect hesitate at all in doing that, or is she all in?
She doesn't even like. She's like, like, it doesn't,
Mm.
she's never seen the Black Hef, so she's just like, whatever, touch it. All right,
Nice. I like it.
I need the job. I need the job, guys.
Hollow comes up. It's the traditional Star Wars blue hollow. You see the upper half of Fingers with Krull standing in the background. Fingers looks around. He obviously can. Sorry. She can see all of you guys 360, and she nods as she does.
All
like
secure,
a-
boss.
Good. Listen, we made connection. The cartel that has an operation running in Corellia. They need you guys. It's kind of a proof of concept. So I need you guys to make a run. I need you to go fetch some product that's outside of Coronet City. And I need you to bring it in. And then we switch the visual view, and she's displaying you guys Coronet City. Rich will just, so I need you to bring it in Government District. They've got a little party going on tonight, and there's a real opportunity for us because they had somebody else working the job, and that hasn't happened. Somebody got pinched. You're welcome. So opened up for us. So I need you guys to head outside of Coronet City, make the pickup at the designation I'm sending along, bring it into Government District to a particular building, and then we like dial in, and it's over here. It's this particular building here. They got a party going on. These crates need to be delivered by 2000. Drop everything. This could really open up doors for us. Some really heavy credits involved.
Any sort of complications we should be on the watch for?
Gotta always watch yourself for Imperial entanglements, if you know what I mean.
All right. And I'll kind of look around to everybody, see.
And Krull seems a little uneasy at the very light level of complications that Fingers has shared with you. He says a little something there. Fingers looks back. Yeah. So the Black Hath was doing the work before. Let's just say I pulled some strings and they're not. So there's a possibility that if they are sore about it, there could be some problems, but she kind of looks off to the carcass. That's no problem for you guys, right?
Sore about it.
Polska. Hunt Cartel, I'm in.
Yeah, seems like just gravy if they want to get their fucking noses into it.
As long as we don't see Voseg.
Mm.
All right, I've got to
Agreed,
go.
Krull.
I gotta go. And then she reaches forward and then winks out. So as you guys, I would imagine the enforcer, well, I don't know. You tell me. You don't have a road captain. You don't have a VP. You don't have a president. It's really up to you to figure out who's going to form up this ride.
It's anarchy.
I know, it's great. I love it.
This seems like it's got danger to it. Might should be the enforcer running it. I'm smuggler and that sort of thing. I might be into it. Secretary, I think, is probably highest on the rank chart.
All right. Are we taking this stuff off of people, or are we meeting someone who intends to give it to us?
Great question. There's some details that are sent over You guys grab that, throw it onto a data pad. Basically, it's a shipping warehouse that is located off of Coronet City has a very heavy Imperial presence. So imagine the airport that you're driving through some neighborhoods and all of a sudden you're like, shit, there are hangars and there's an airport, kind of that thing. So it's basically a not really spaceport where these guys will be dropping off the product. They're obviously going to be Hut cartel people who are making the deliveries or those who are associated to the cartel. But you're making the run to pick up the stuff, take it to the downtown government district area.
And did I mishear? But you said, is there a party at that building, or did I just okay?
Yep.
The delivery spot. Okay. Meat. How heavy you feel like rolling?
Roll heavy if the Black Hat might get involved.
You know, I like to keep a lower profile, but if a fight's coming,
If it's the difference between doing a job and not getting the job done, I pick do the job, take the heat after.
you're right. Throttle.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with the man. If we get to hit 2 of them in the mouth, that's just a bonus.
Priest.
You know me, I always say roll heavy.
All right. Prospect, you feel like seeing your first blood?
She is nearly jumping up and down with excitement. It's her first run. She's like, I've got the outfit picked out and everything.
All right, Meat, pass out the hardware. Let's go heavy.
Nice.
All right, Meat starts handing out a various array of like 100-year-old firearms that have been dolled up with a bunch of like plastic flash hiders and scopes to make them look like laser guns.
Nice. I love it. We will do a star wipe and we see the 6 of you on your hogs. Now, here's the question. You're on a ride where if you get caught, it's not going to go well. You will definitely be carrying illegal cargo. Are you riding with gang colors? Or are you guys going in black?
How much heat would our colors generate? I mean, are we looking at just showing the colors will bring heat down on us, or are we accepted enough that we can ride without being accosted that often?
You could ride without being accosted that often. In fact, because you guys are an up and coming HoloNet show, it's possible that if they know of you, Imperials, like stormtroopers, like street level guys will be like, oh, the dudes from that show. They wouldn't immediately think the thugs or the criminals from that show.
It's more if we get caught, then there's no untangling what happened from everything else that we're doing.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, you got to advertise. It's part of the brand identity.
Also just gives us a good reason not to get caught.
Agreed. Get caught, we're screwed regardless.
Nice.
Could we bring Fram to increase the verisimilitude of our ruse?
If you do, that is definitely a thing. I am delighted if you do. I completely understand if you do not.
Dude is literally a living camera.
Yeah.
I don't know that it cannot film what's happening. Like, I don't know if there actually is an off switch.
Oh, God, if there's a fight, I'd love it filmed. But we're doing highly illegal things.
It's also a one shot. So
I love that answer.
If y'all don't bring him, then I'm sneaking out with him.
Yeah, I say we just bring
I
them.
like that. Why don't we
Yeah.
say don't bring him and then prospect? I love that. Yes.
Worst comes to worst, we shove him in a bag.
Awesome.
So are we going with prospect, snuck it out? Yeah, okay.
Cool. So, and that's Fram, not Mage. Okay, awesome. Love it. So you guys zip out. You are wearing colors of the Broken Circle. Is Broken Circle like a dark color priest, or is it pretty bright like neon?
I sort of imagine like a black circle, but with a kind of line through it, like an aught or something, like a
Okay,
zero. But
cool.
yeah, some kind of low
So really,
key.
that's just the logo. People can have brightly colored swoop bikes if that's what they want, as long as
Sure.
they have the Broken Circle on it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Prospect, what about your bike is brand new? Like obviously first time out.
Well, first of all, I'm dressed like Trinity from the first Matrix film, because that's what I learned that bikers look like from HoloNet vids. And I have enough product in my hair that it doesn't move in as we're as we're riding. It's just a shell of a hair. What is new? There's a very obvious governor on the engine, and I can only go so fast.
I love it. Sweet.
Eventually that governor will come off and I'll crash, and then you can call me Crash.
That's how you earned your name, right? I love it. Throttle, what have you put custom on your ride that you're proud of?
I think there are, I don't know the actual term for it, but like in addition to the main thruster, experimenting with some thrusters on the sides to increase the cornering, or rather decrease the cornering, and make very, very sharp turns.
Oh,
But
that's so
I
cool.
have not tried it out yet.
Oh man, this is it. Is this
I mean,
thing?
It was in the wind tunnel, and when I used them, it hit the side and broke off the elevator. But I mean, it's pretty good in the wind tunnel.
I buy that. That totally tracks. I love it. Cool. You guys are riding out, and outside of Coronet City, there's a point where you go outside of the core, and it's almost like a reverse donut. There's this point where you see these patches of really nice posh gated communities, and then long strings of Rust Belt era, like the detritus, old factories, things that are no longer in operation, things that during the Empire were propped up, and now as the Empire's production has dropped down, these things were just left to rot. And you're zipping through those past things that look like old rusted out silos and the like, and heading off into the distance where you have received the coordinates for this off the grid spaceport. As you guys go by and you're zipping along, you do hear overhead the slightly intimidating sound of typewriters that scream past, and there's a moment of tension. They pass by and don't mess with you guys. Eventually, you reach that spaceport. You see that there's a control tower of sorts, and there are a couple of freighters. One that actually has like a tarp that's been lashed onto it. It's been sitting here mothballed for a very long time, but there's a relatively nice looking medium class freighter. It's a YT of some sort, and you see that there is a Trandoshan. Those are the big lizard man dudes like Bosk. Trandoshan, who's already outside of the ship, staying there. He's got a very big, heavy, repeating blaster rifle, and he is obviously like the muscle. He will shoot first and ask questions later. And you see that there are a couple of load lifter droids that are bringing down some cargo from the ship and loading it onto a small grav pad or a pallet that a swoop bike could easily attach to and then haul away. And you see that there's a human woman, and I think, Pros, you recognize Ona Thon, that is her name. I'm going to drop a pic of her in the NPCs tab. You recognize Onathon, and I'm curious what kind of relationship you have with Onathon, who evidently is now a courier for the Hutt Cartel. And I'll quickly share screens just so we all get a pic of the girl. And yes, she has a cape because it looks dope. And you're dressed like Trinity.
Right.
So you also look dope. And she would know you as Lena, of course.
Yeah. Well, I obviously Space Ace Ubered her somewhere. When we came out of hyperspace, I was like, part of the contract, I had to leave the cockpit, and then like she did the rest of the trip, so that I wouldn't know where we were going. So I was playing 3D solitaire with some cards, and then once she arrived, it was like one of those things where we barely talked.
Okay.
Like I did more telling her like where to find the bathroom than I think she ever talked to me. But
okay, cool. So she comes down and she's checking with the load lifter droids as you guys come in. And she's making sure everything's stacked, and she actually comes over and runs her hand along the set of crates to make sure that they're sealed together. It's good and tight. It could be yanked quickly if need be. And so I'm curious, Face, are you the one who's gonna chat or rap with Onathon?
Probably so. I think I probably deal with the smuggling end for the most part.
So Anna looks up, she sees the group of you. Her eyes linger on you, Lena, for a moment, but you look, a good bit different. But I think there's a familiar stranger, like person you've been in the elevator with as you
Right.
go up to a particular floor multiple times, and you're like, I know that dude, but I don't know who that dude is, kind of
Right.
vibe there. But Face, as
And
you
I
approach,
hold a hand up as I'm coming in to show that, coming in as a friend. And as I, stop close by, hey, we're the Broken Circle, supposed to have a delivery.
yeah, good.
Any
Funny.
problems?
Well, no problems. No, everything's fine.
Are you sure? I mean,
I think you don't trust her and you're trying to get a read off of her
I
body
am.
language. All right, I am going to say that to get a good read off of her is hard. She's hiding something.
Okay. But is this be cool?
I think it's be cool. I think
All
you're
right.
being cool right now. The guns aren't out and blazing. You're just trying to get a read off of her.
All right, so I'm looking at 5.
5, you got 3 off be cool, and then which thing are you bringing to bear, do you think?
Oh, I thought you said heart.
Oh, I didn't. You're saying heart, and I agree with you. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I would try and talk her out of it. I'd use jaw.
Okay, if you wanna talk her out of it and use
Yeah,
jaw, that's perfectly fine.
I'm trying to kind of.
Sorry if I think I used the phrase heart and it made it sound like I was telling you heart. Sorry about that.
Look, it's a big help if you give us the lowdown here. We're all friends, so yeah, I'm using jaw.
Okay.
So 6.
Okay, it's hard. You're gonna need 3 successes. You've got 6 dice ready to roll. You got a 50-50 shot of pulling this off with nothing else. Do you want some help, or do you want to spend some of your own cards? You got 7 cards. It's a 1 shot. You might as well burn those suckers up.
Yeah. I'll spend some cark. Is it 1 for 1?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead. What the hell? I'll spend 2.
Okay. And again,
This is
pinching
what I
not
do.
involved in this roll because you're just getting a read off of her. You blow it, you just know there's something up, and she clams up on it.
Yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be good at. Let's see if it happens. Oh no,
That appears to be 2 successes.
it
And
does.
with it being hard, that means you needed 3 successes.
It
So
does.
she says, I'm sure you already know the Black Hath was supposed to take this run. And that ain't happening. So there you go. That's what's wrong. You've got it. Good luck with your opportunity. She looks back at the Trandoshan. He gives a nod. She tells the load, she pulls out a little thing to tell the load lifter droids to head back, and looks like she's taking off. She lingers for a moment and says, Lena?
What would Lena do? She looks startled. But so she flips back to like Space Ace speak, and she says something like beneficent customer or something like that.
I thought I knew you for Space Aces. Interesting change. Nice. I like the outfit. And then she'll turn and start to head back up into her ship.
Space Aces.
Friend
What?
of yours, Pross?
Like, she rode in the ship with me. Like, I certainly wasn't thinking about her or anything like that. I mean,
Okay.
you guys have private lives. Why can't I have a private life?
I don't really have a private life.
Well, like, that's not my fault.
Fair point.
Throttle.
Who takes the crate? Like, who hooks it up to the back of their road?
Yeah, I throttled. You want to be hauling or?
No, that's going to ruin all of the handling.
All right.
I got these handles. I can take it.
All right. Okay, then. Meet how you want to handle it.
I figure we should make clear the spaceport and then actually verify the contents of the crates, because something about this is wrong. We all feel it.
Do we know what's supposed to be in there?
No. A kark ton of spice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hell.
Kind of stuff that will land you guys in the Imperial cube or the prison for the rest of your lives.
And that's what we're hoping is in there.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we
Ship
make
takes off.
formation and
You guys had a few kilometers away in that midpoint, and you said you wanted to pull off. Maybe you pull off in one of those like rusted out silo type things, and you're gonna check things out. Sounds good. So when you check out this set of crates, they're metal boxes. They kind of mag lock onto each other so that when they are affixed to the grav pad and pulled along, you can take crazy turns and they can wobble a good bunch, and everything should still be copacetic inside. But it's locked. Someone's going to need to do something about that to get inside. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I could vandalize it open.
Oh yeah, that's totally an option.
Anybody has a more subtle idea?
Mead, if you do that, are we going to be able to close it again?
I wasn't thinking that far ahead.
maybe something a little more subtle.
Let me see if there's some kind of computer thingy I can do here. Yeah,
Yes, Ross?
Yeah. I happen to have like a really good scanner kind of thing. And she pulls out Frim. She's like, I'm sure he can see in the box.
Oh,
You
shit.
can see everything.
You
You're
brought
so
that thing?
cocked. We should not
She's
open
gonna
a
knock,
box.
Pross.
We gotta, I mean, I've just been, narrating to it. He hasn't been
Is that
watching.
why you've been talking the whole time?
Well, like this is our thing, right? The show.
This is video evidence,
This
Bros.
is not the thing.
Well, it hasn't seen anything yet. You
You
bunch
just
of
took it out of the bag.
well, okay. I'll put it back in the bag. We can vandalize the box.
No, let's not vandalize the box quite yet.
So who's keeping
Wow.
lookout? Who's keeping lookout and sees the Black Heth coming?
Oh dear.
I don't think Priest has complained about this yet, so perhaps Priest is the one.
Why don't I? Yeah, since I feel like I'm kind of like the one. I have my swoop bike connected to the boxes,
Sure.
and I'll just be kind of like, yeah, keeping a lookout.
Got
Yeah.
your head on a swivel, maybe.
Yeah, I got a
one of
head
those
on a swivel, and I'm
Monocular things.
yeah.
You're looking through the little
Exactly.
rents of rust and you see a few swoop bikes, and their lights are off, but you catch the movement, right? You know how to spot a swoop bike at night.
Guys, we got Heth coming in 6 o'clock, and I sort of like turn and kind of like give a signal.
What do you do?
We ride.
I jam on the throttle.
Sweet.
Whatever's in there, it's going to that party.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
Full of bombs.
Sweet. So you guys are gonna take off. Are you planning to go head on towards the Black Heth, or are you plan to go out another side of the silo and then just race it towards Coronet City?
I'm going racing to Cornet City. So, and I'm hoping everyone else is gonna like break
Well,
off and do their own
You
thing,
could
and
split the party.
I'm trying to. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you got the stuff.
Yeah.
Priest has the stuff. I'm supposed to make sure the stuff gets there. So I'm gonna be your
Is that what we think? Stick all together. Somebody give cover while Priest and someone goes with them. What do we think?
Well,
What was
there's
your
no way
count
we're
on-
all staying together if we're racing because I have a governor on my engine and I can only go so fast. So
That's something I can
I was about to-
vandalize.
Ha!
So Priest is taking off. Who's riding with Priest to make sure that he makes the run to Coronet City?
I mean, I would like to, but I think maybe Meat's priority is to vandalize this governor off Prospect's bike so that she can have a big girl bike.
Okay, that makes sense.
I
Here's
put that on there for a reason.
right?
It was a good reason at the time. Now it's not a good reason.
So then here's the deal, Meat. The way in which you do this will pretty much help me to determine the difficulty number of your success. If you are a mechanic doing mechanic stuff, it's probably normal or hard. If you want to beat the governor off, I think that is karking hard and a
Phrasing.
difficulty of 4, right? Because the failure means the governor's off and also the bike is slacked.
I'm so sorry, Prospect, but I don't know how to fix stuff properly. So yeah, I'm gonna be
I am here for
badass.
this.
I'm gonna use my hands and just tear the thing off,
Okay.
and it's vandalism. So I think that's
Oh,
7
perfect.
dice.
You got
Is that
7
right?
dice coming in. Now, I'm going to say that tension is involved in this roll. Now, this is a new type of roll, but it's pretty simple. What it means is that ones will draw away your karks. So if you roll a ton of ones, now you might think, well, the more dice I roll, the higher chance I have of success, but also losing a ton of karks. The most karks you can lose is the difficulty of the roll, which is 4, because you're beating a governor off of prospects.
Ironically, that's how many
shiny new
karks I
ride.
have.
Yeah, it's true. This could be a clear victory.
I will throw you a kark for the roll if you'd like,
Thank you.
because I will tell you where to hit it.
Nice. This fist goes there. That fist goes there.
Your leverage has to come from the back. It's not, yeah, no, it's more of a push than a pull.
Love it. Love it.
And I think in the meantime, I'm like gesturing with the wrench that could just pry it off easily. More like over there.
So we've got 7 dice coming in here.
Plus 1 kark is 8.
Dang it. There we go. Oh, come on. I want to see the dice. I get excited when this happens.
All
All right, you got
Here we go.
8
Got it.
dice coming in.
Yeah, 3 Shebs and not enough.
Oh,
6
that
dice.
that is not good. Okay,
But it is
you have
hilarious.
not successfully removed the governor, or you have. I'll say you removed the governor, but you also damaged Prospect's ride. Lena, I'm sorry, but your ride is carked, and you lose 3 karks in the doing. I'll give you the choice. Either you feel really bad about this, or something exploded.
I don't feel bad about what I do, so something definitely exploded.
Cool. You slam that governor, something explodes in the little reactor that you didn't anticipate. Throttle, you missed it by like just a few centimeters, but like, it's a chain reaction thing, blows up in your face, and it's totally captured on camera. Frim
Oh yeah,
captures that.
and Frim was doing it like Matrix style, so it's just like boom, when it goes like around in a half circle. And anyway,
Cut and print.
I thought we
And-
put that back in the bag.
It was blown free in the blast.
Nice.
oh,
There are
Just-
blaster shots coming over your heads. Priest is taken off. You see that a few of the guys are peeling off to head dart for Priest because they see the thing the Priest is hauling behind him. Throttle, meet, Prospect, face. The 4 of you, what is it that you want to do? Or let's see, show of hands. Who wants to ride after Priest and cover him? All right. So meet after you break Prospect's ride. You're like,
But but I also can't leave her. So meat shouts.
so
out,
what she's telling you to do is to go and like let her be the. She thinks she can talk her way out of this. She doesn't know who the Black Heth are, right? So she's like, just go. I'll fix I'll be right behind you.
I ain't
I mean-
leaving you. So I guess meat's gonna stay.
Wait, Meat isn't going to grab Prospect and throw her over his ride. He's going to stay.
I mean, well, they all have bikes too. They're gonna be able to just drive past us. Is it cool if he grabs Prospect and they're like, "You drive, I'll shoot," or something like that?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Like tell her what to do.
Such a great idea.
I'll slow him down.
Nice. So Throttle's hanging back to try to slow down the Black Heth. Face, what are you doing?
I think probably about the time Priest bolted, I was heading off behind to make
Okay,
sure that
2
there
you
was an
guys took
escort.
off, and Meat stuck around with Prospect and Throttle. That
Mhm.
totally, I vibe with that. So Larsabuk and Gisabak they're turning to give chase to Priest and Face. They're not even going to interface with Meat, Prospect. One of them sees that Priest is hauling some kind of freight. They know what this ride is. Those 2 are not going to deal with you. However, Umas, Aiden, and Voseg are the 2 that are coming right at Throttle, Prospect, and Meat. Voseg is in this wide, slow brick of a swoop bike that has a big X on the front over the broken circle symbol. This is a ride, Priest, that you and Voseg labored over to make all the times. In the wind tunnel was built so you guys could get something that would carry his giant carcass. So yeah, he's riding straight for Throttle, Meat, and Prospect. Throttle, you were the one who's going to stay behind and cause some trouble. They're going to be firing at you. What do you want to do?
So there's 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I'm going to come up and test my new maneuver thrusters to kind of suddenly go like this right in front of them and take them both out.
Oh, nice. That sounds amazing. I think that tension is definitely involved in this. You do not do well, it's going to hurt a lot. Even if you do well, you're going to get a little bit of hurt. It sounds karking ridiculous to me, I think. Okay, 5 is the difficulty that you need to hit here with this roll.
All right, I would imagine it's badass. 'cause
I would
it's-
agree.
Yeah.
If you pull it off, it's super badass. Hog is what you're using.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So
Um,
that gives me 6. Is
you
it
think you're
assault?
I think it is. You're trying to assault someone with your bike.
Yeah. So that's 7, which is still not as many as I'd like if someone providing cover fire. Oh, you don't have any kark, do you?
I have a lot of kark because I rolled a 6.
Oh,
Wow, you are full of kark.
Right. So she's like, don't worry, I've done all of the practice tests. And she pulls out this blaster, starts firing.
I'm definitely getting hit if I miss this.
So you get, I guess I can only give a maximum of 1. Yeah.
Yeah, you can give one.
You get the 1.
8. And I
It's still
feel
not-
like,
Still not 50-50.
yeah, I'm going to give myself
Spend your
2
own
on my
too.
own.
Okay.
That's 10.
And I could give myself more of my own.
Yeah.
know if I want to,
you
though.
want.
I'm going, oh, yeah, I'm getting another one. I'm rolling 11.
Okay. 11 dice. I got to see how this comes out. Sharing the screen, and here we go. 11d6. Karking ridiculous. You're looking for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What?
Yeah, baby.
What does this crazy karking ridiculous maneuver
Oh
that
my
you
goodness.
pull on Umas Aid and Vasek? What does this look like?
What's Umis riding?
I think Umas is riding like a little crotch rocket thing, like he's leaned over the thing, right?
All right. So I think, and they got to be close enough together for this maneuver to
Mhm.
work anyway. So
Sure.
coming up at it, suddenly turning, and like there is not a lot of stability in this little one that Umis is riding. So it's enough to disturb the air pressure. He goes flying up. His whole bike hits Vaseg. And I mean, Vaseg's big, so I don't think he's going to knock them off, but like turns that bike 180 upside down.
Nice.
And he's like scraping against the bottom of the whatever road surface it is.
Oh, yeah, totally got to be like asphalt. Yeah, he's going to get a bunch of road rash here from this as you successfully take the 2 of them out. That is amazing. And Prospect, you fired a couple of shots, like you were firing your blaster pistol. Nice.
He shot a god shot, Prozzy!
We cut. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no smoke coming off you.
Right, exactly.
To Priest and Face, and the 2 of you guys you're trying to blast out of here, and they're not slow. They're in a pair of twin speeder bikes. You actually see that they have basically off-market versions of Imperial speeder bikes. These things can go hundreds of kilometers an hour. So I think Priest and Face, the 2 of you, if you want to outlast them all the way to Coronet City. Thanks for the heads up. I'm going to say that this is going to be karking hard, and they're going to be firing at you.
Okay, so hauling something, we're at a little disadvantage for speed. Priest, do we want to try to make the run, or do we want to try and find a spot where we could stand and fight?
Stand and fight.
Yeah, hell yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right. Is it possible to think of a place as we're getting in there that we can like shoot through, do the swoop to hold up, and be ready for them as they come out?
Interesting. Maybe there's like an old duracrete overpass kind of
Yeah.
deal that you guys shoot through, and then you're using that as your setup for a bit of an ambush.
Yeah.
I love it. That sounds fantastic. So who wants to lead the role of the two of you?
The role for the
For your role to take these guys out.
priest, you're the fighter.
All right, yeah. So, yeah, I'll
This
lead
is
the role.
definitely
So why don't
badass.
we? I mean, I guess if we're kind of like jamming down into this underpass, we're going to, because I want to try and use the hog as much as possible.
Okay.
So perhaps come to like such a quick stop on the thing that like normally you would just sort of zoom on through. Like we're gonna hit
Oh,
brakes
yeah.
rapid, right?
Hairpin turn
Like
kinda
exactly
thing.
hairpin turn.
Nice.
And by jamming on it,
If
and
only
then
you
we'll be
had,
ready.
like, thrusters on the side or something,
That's
but
true.
you don't have that.
We didn't get a chance to actually put that new technology to work. Yeah, so we're gonna hit like hard brake, and
Mhm.
then be ready with our blaster rifles as they come through and just shoot them as they
Oh, love it.
come through. So why don't we? All right, so I'm gonna use hog.
I'm definitely handing you a cart.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go with be badass, obviously, hopefully.
Absolutely,
And then
definitely.
hog. So that's 6.
Okay.
Then I guess the question is, are we assaulting them? I mean,
I'd like to
coming up.
assault them
I know.
right about the head and shoulders.
Sure.
Why not? Okay, so then we'll go 7. And then I will drop. I guess what are we doing with the difficulty? Is
4
it
is the difficulty.
4 is the difficulty? Yeah. All right, so I'll drop 2 karks. I mean, why not? So 6, 7, 8, 9, and then with the extra kark, we come to 10, I guess, right?
All right, 10 dice. You need 4 successes. Any ones that you roll will draw down your kark. So this could be a Pyrrhic victory. It probably won't
Oh,
be with the way
geez.
the dice have been going for you
How'd that
guys.
happen? D6. Yep. All right, 10d6. Boom. See how this works.
All right. This looks like not 4 successes.
No.
That 1, 2, 3 successes and 2 ones, which means you're going to lose 2 karks from this. You guys set the trap. And I think Face, you offer some help. Priest, there's something off about this. Do you think that, yeah, even on a success, if tension is involved, those ones will still draw you down. So it could even be a thing where you super succeed, but it drains you out for some reason. So I'm asking you about this, Priest. You were the one who made the roll. Did you tip off something about the ambush, or do they have a third party that's been running Overwatch on them, and that is why they knew what was going on?
Yeah, I guess maybe there's another member coming from the opposite direction. So we come into the underpass, we hit the hard turn, and I'm like a master on the bike, and so we hit it, but then all of a sudden on the opposite side, someone's coming through.
Yeah,
that we didn't see.
Zipped way ahead, went through the overpass, hairpin turn, both of you, perfect in sync, absolutely awesome. You're waiting, you hear the roar, the scream of their engines, and then from behind, one fire. Dude, and it starts lighting up, and the person's just coming in a line towards you, and he hits you and your ride, Priest. You take a couple of kark damage, and your hog is in rough shape. She's tough. Maybe you can still ride. You probably lost a little bit of speed, and then those two come zooming right straight through, and they are headed directly for you, Priest. They are going to basically take you out and take that crate. Face, you see Priest get lit up from a sniper position that they had set up of somebody who was watching Overwatch, and all of a sudden those 2 Kubas from the Black Heth are coming on you like crazy. What are you doing, Face?
Okay. I got to get that Overwatch out of the way first, then we can come back for the fight. So I think since my bike isn't messed up, I'm just going to do like a vertical thrust up.
Ooh, nice.
so I can get a look at where those shots are coming from Overwatch, and try to take them out.
Awesome. I love that. You pop up and you see that there is a near human who Priest would know as Alancian, and he has that repeating rifle, that sniper. He's the one who lit Priest up. You want to take a shot at him? He's of course seeing you, so the two of you aiming.
What do I know anything about it?
I mean, you know that he's a high stakes poker gambler, but he's probably using a whole lot of tech to pull these shots off because he is not a natural sharpshooter.
Okay. I'm going to, as I get up there and see him, I'm going to say, I've got your marker. You better fucking get lost.
Ooh, yeah, got your marker. Nice key to that.
So I'm going to attempt a blackmail Jaw to run him away.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I love it. And if you fail, he's just going to pop off a shot thinking, you know, if I kill him.
If I'm dead, who cares if you got my marker?
I think this is going to be karking hard, right? He's been told what he's got to do. Him cutting and running on his crew is not going to be seen well. So you got a difficulty of 4. Tension's involved in the roll. The tension being he shoots you if he doesn't back down here.
And this is badass. So 1 there. Jaw is 3. What does expertise give?
Gives you an extra die. And you're blackmailing, so you're up to 4 dice. Yes.
5 dice.
5 dice. Sorry, math is bad.
And I will dump 2 of my own.
2 karks. All right.
So that's 7.
Yeah, 7. You need 4 successes.
Need it to go well. And I may cart myself out. Let's go.
Ooh, dang, the dice do not love you tonight, friend.
I haven't rolled well at all.
Nobody has rolled terribly well. So you only lose a kark. So I think there's a moment where he considers his odds and he decides to always bet on black and he fires on you. I know, sorry. Is it a thing where you've got to ditch and that's where you lose a kark? You basically back down from this to keep from getting knocked off of your ride? Or does your beautiful ride take a little bit of the 6? You only lose 1 kark. You just fail to cow this guy, and he's going to continue to harry Priest.
Yeah, I think that shot fires off towards me, and it actually pops me, and I kind of, the bike takes the hit. I sort of tremor in the thing.
Cool.
Yeah, man, it's a hit.
It's rough. Yeah, it's like weep, weep, weep. Little warning alarm going off in your bike as we cut back to Throttle having taken out the folks who were trying to hit you guys, the rear support. You hear a bunch of blaster fire going off ahead of you. So I'm really curious. Meet, you've got Prospect along with you, and Prospect's riding, and you're the hitter. Is that right? Oh, you're on mute.
That's right.
Sweet. So I think because Throttle, you slammed into them and you're trailing behind them. I think Meat and Prospect are leading this now. You see that those 2 Kubas are circling around Priest. They're kind of doing these things where they side swipe and they're firing with the blasters on the front of their speeder bikes. Because remember, the Imperial speeder bikes, they actually have like vehicle blasters, and that's pretty heavy. So Meat and Prospect, what is it the 2 of you guys do as Priest is trying to continue moving at this point because their ambush was busted?
Go for it, Prospect. Meat's gonna ride like shotgun, I guess, literal shot.
Okay.
Space shotgun, right?
Oh, okay.
Scattergun.
Yeah.
So they are flying on Imperial swoop bikes, yeah?
They are.
Well, I think there's a period of Lena's history where she may have been chased by Imperials on swoop bikes before.
Nice.
And she's she knows that they don't have really good intakes, and if you get smoke in them, it'll screw it up. I don't know. Some sort of debris, that kind of thing.
I like that. Okay.
And so she's going to get them to chase her. And I'm driving, right? Like you're firing me and I'm driving. Yeah. And the point is to knock the rear of the bike into things so that eventually stuff starts coming out of it and it'll clog their engines and we can get away. As long as we can keep going after that. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. If it's not right, it's not right.
Cool.
Okay. All right. I haven't rolled any dice yet.
I know you get to roll dice now. It's so exciting.
The last time I remember rolling dice, my character got sent to jail for life, prison for life. So let's see here.
Say that using this roundabout, like indirect route to engage them sounds pretty cool to me. And
I would agree. Badass. Yeah, you're trying to set this up. You're not doing a direct. You're just trying to use your knowledge and skirt around. You're getting shot at, but I still think you're being cool. I would agree with that.
All right.
I do think this is kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
It's karking ridiculous, in fact, and so your difficulty is a 5.
Jeez Louise.
I know. It turns out that you got a lot of karks, so maybe I'm not so worried about that.
That's true.
The good news is that because you're coming at this in such a sideways way and they're more focused on priest, I'm even going to say the tension isn't exactly involved in the role. If you fail at this, they just continue going after priest, and priest is going to suffer some consequences. So you're going to need 5 successes. You got 3 and be cool.
I think I'm using my head. I'm thinking about things. Right.
All right.
I would say you should add your mechanics die too, because of how you described you're going to mess them up is because of your mechanical knowledge.
Yeah.
All right. So you got 7 dice at base. Do you want to spend any karks? You need 5 successes. There's a 50% chance on a D6.
So meat is kark low.
Yeah.
I'm not great, but I'm trying to think if there's a way I could throw you one. Although you've got 8.
Am I out if can I not play anymore if I'm out of karks, or do I need
you can burn that last kark, but basically you're not going to be out, but something about you're out of sorts for a bit until someone can help you to refresh the scene by bonding with you, which could happen immediately after.
I mean, like I said, it's a one shot. I'm going to provide cover.
Exactly. If you want to burn that kark, then
add a bonus. It can more than people.
Well, before you do that, I'm planning on spending 5. So
wow.
Do you still want to spend that 1?
I'm going to feel bad if that's the one that only takes you to 4 successes. So yes.
13 dice, y'all.
Lucky.
What a great guy
prospect.
He broke your ride, but he gave you his last kark.
13 ride, but I gave you my hop.
5 successes. Good luck, prospect. Earn your name.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
That is not the best roll, but
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
It's actually a better roll than I thought it was. I just read that first row and got scared. That is more than you needed. It works the way you planned it. Prospect, you zip ahead of them with meat. What does your help look like?
It looks like a wide Earping 2 blaster pistols from the back of a bike.
Nice. Yeah.
Just
nice. As meat is firing away with his blaster pistols, prospect, you zip around, throw a bunch of rubble up. catches in the fuselage and the intakes on these two rides, and one of them actually crashes out. We'll say though that the of the two, it would be Gifsebach, who is still able to continue on. The sergeant at arms for the Black Heth, he's taken some damage, but he's not gonna let this take him out, right? Like, he's behind. But Throttle, maybe you've got something to say about that. What do you want to do? He is distracted by trying to get his ride in order so that he can continue to chase Priest, but he's not even aware of you coming up behind him. What do you want to do?
So he's just trying to kind of get in order right now.
Yeah, he's basically flipping a couple toggles to vac out his system so that he can continue to give chase.
I mean, I wasn't originally thinking that I had that giant wrench in the picture, but now I'm imagining hitting somebody with a giant wrench, and I feel like maybe I do.
I think
Maybe I do.
I want to see what that looks like. Let's build your roll quickly, so that we see how that happens. I think we are talking about something that's hard because you're going real fast.
Oh yeah. That's
So
just gonna,
difficulty's 3.
it's like the harder the fastball is, the harder off the bat it goes. It's gonna be great.
Exactly. I love that we have a little baseball in my Star Wars. So you're being badass, and it sounds like you're using tools.
Okay.
Okay, and it's assault.
Yeah, it is.
So 6 dice.
And what are we going? You said, is it 3?
Yep, difficulty of 3.
Uh,
He's not aware of you, so tension's not involved in this roll. Good luck.
Let's go 7 dice. Yeah. Go.
7 dice, 76. You're looking for 3 successes. You got a better than average chance. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
Nice. 5 successes. How is it that you take this guy out with your lovely wrench?
So what's the deal with his mask? Is that part of him? Is that a breathing mask? Is it...
Oh, that's a great question. So that's his face. He's just wearing goggles.
Oh, that's his move.
Yeah, remember the
Okay.
dude who ratted out Han Solo on Tatooine? He like pointed and hit his own nose. That snouted guy that ratted him out to the stormtroopers. No,
Okay.
no, it looks like you don't. Do you remember
Like,
in the Mandalorian when there was the guy who had the whistle and the 2 little taxi cars that came by?
Yeah.
That guy.
No
That's
droids.
who he was.
Okay.
I could have just said that's his face, but I wanted to talk about.
I wanted to show that I knew exactly what I was talking about. So gosh, I feel like I wanted to hit something off of. So I'm gonna go with, yeah, I mean, I hit him in the head, which is unpleasant because you can figure out why. But I think the problem is like the goggles come off, and somehow like that was important. Like I don't know if his eyes are super sensitive or like it was
like
infrared or something. And like he cannot see where he's going. He's just been hit in the head. And it's definitely like one of those speeder bikes into a tree on Endor kind of things, except it's a building on Corellia.
He keeps going. He slams into a building and is thrown, falls to the ground. We got our Wilhelm screaming. I was worried we were running short on time for Wilhelm screams. And I think what we see then is with the rest of the gang, the Black Heth, either lying on the dirt or the duracrete. You guys zoom on. We see you enter Coronet City. We see as you guys head closer to the government sector. So I want to ask you, Priest, as you guys are coming close to the government district, how is it that you guys make it to that last building? Because some of the streets have stormtroopers and patrol troopers and the like. And again, we're going into like no dice. We're just making sure that we bring this story to an end. So do you imagine that you guys are able to zip past, or do you have some bribes
I mean,
that Face
I
does? What do you
think we're gonna try to use Frim, right? Don't we have to? I mean, aren't we obligated at this point to kind of like re-include him in the? So we sort of like set up a little bit of like someone like a diversion where someone is
Mhm.
being filmed, perhaps, and then hopefully the sort of like stormtroopers and the guards kind of watch those people as we come around a slightly different angle.
Oh, that's great. From saving the day.
Yeah,
From cutting
and I imagine
fruit.
a prospect too, prospect of Frim doing like an interview thing, perhaps,
You
as
mean
the rest of us kind
Crash?
of now crash. There you go. Has
Ooh.
been and then we kind of like come in together. That's how I
That
imagine it.
I love it. I love it. So that's how it happens. You guys bring the illicit goods, the crate full of spice, and your contact, of course, human Corellian. It looks like an Imperial. They are having a very private party. And when they open up the crate, you see that there are Imperial markings on the inside of the crate. Basically, this thing is set up to look like it is medicinal of some kind. And that is evidently what may have been hidden there. He doesn't tip you because they're Imperials, they're dicks. But he says, everything's been arranged. Thank you very much. Now you may go about your business. Speak of this to no one. And then we cut for one last scene with you guys. Now, if we were playing a longer game, playing a second session, you guys who ran out of cards, I believe Meat and Priest, both of you, because of the attrition of many difficult things that you've done, you could have an opportunity for a bonding scene where you could recover carks, like, 2 to 5 carks based on how much you open up to someone else. It could totally be a thing at do you guys lost the cantina you owned? Do we want this like last bit of you guys as we say goodbye, do a quick bit of epilogues? Is that at the Broken Circle shop, or is it at whatever you've adopted to be the new cantina where you hang out? What do you think, Meat?
What if what if our that scene is Priest and Meat working together like hyper welding or fusion welding together? You can see like a new Ride and Ruin sign that they're working on. Thinking we're gonna use the proceeds from the show to set up a new place.
Nice. I like that. So let's do a quick round of epilogues, just a few sentences to help you put your character to bed. This will be the end of the ride for your characters, but it doesn't have to be end of the ride for you as players. It doesn't have to be the end of the ride for your characters. So what is it, as maybe this the last bits of this episode of the Broken Circle custom swoop bike shop that Frim shows? So we'll start off with our prospect and we'll end with Priest and whoever wants to jump in the middle. That's where we'll go. So Crash, what's your epilogue?
Can you come back to me? I'm gonna think about it some.
Sure.
I've got an idea if you just want to
awesome. Throttle.
go from that. So I'm thinking that Frim recorded more than expected on that run. And instead of blowing up in our faces, it turned out that like some of that footage went viral. And Throttle now has her own show on the HoloNet that is like something between Pimp My Ride, Jackass, and Practical Jokers that nobody is sure they completely understand, but is like must view. And so she's a bit of a minor celebrity now.
That's awesome. I love it. Cool. Meat or Face? Meat or Face? You guys have ideas?
All right. I said, get out of here, Frim. Meat continues working on the custom fuselage art for bikes. Despite his long-term goal of getting Ride and Ruin back together, it turns out he actually has a talent for bike art, and he has taken lessons from Throttle in how to correctly disassemble governors and other engine parts So he's become a more valued member of the mechanical and legitimate part of the team. He hasn't had to punch a guy in over like 2 weeks now.
Is there a sign behind him?
Yeah.
Days since.
Yes. No, but then an onion comes back, and you hear some shouting outside, and then the last we see of Meat, he has to walk in and kind of sadly, like kind of like half sad, half kind of pleased. He wipes off the 17 and writes a 0 and puts the line through it.
Perfect. Awesome. Face, what about you?
I think we see Face and Priest kind of in a back alley. And you know, the two of us talking for a moment as Face is kind of moving away from something that's been placed up against the wall. And he looks over at Priest and says, you know, it doesn't exactly bring back what we lost, but and as we walk away down the alley, you know, sometimes taking away is a little bit like getting your own. And we see this enormous explosion, and the scene shifts to the front of this cantina with the black hole over the top of it as the cantina explodes into fire, and the Black Heth go running out from the damage there.
Harsh, but fitting. Very cool. So Crash, you got an idea, or do we want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in addition to becoming, I guess, head mechanic, since our mechanic left for their own show, I have contacted Onathon and arranged for us to do more deliveries. I've got all of these old Space Ace stickers that make it look like we're legitimate. So anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bring it home for us, Priest. What do we see for Priest's epilogue?
So I think we see Priest kind of make his way back just shortly after this kind of entire encounter to the site where Vosseg's swoop bike was kind of like flipped over. And he kind of looks through the rubble. He looks through the kind of like pieces, and he pulls off this piece where he sees that kind of the circle, the broken circle with the X through it. And he kind of picks it up, that piece of his swoop bike, which got like knocked off, and pulls it back into our little kind of that room where we have the carcass of the Black Heth bike. And he just kind of like throws it on top of the Black Heth bike, and kind of like mounts it to it to remind himself, right, that Vosseg's sort of still on the list. And then the last thing perhaps they see is Priest kind of flipping through these like old holo recordings that Frimfram had made of like Vosseg still in the shop, like doing, you know, putting the thing together, putting the wind tunnel together, building his kind of like huge, and then just like deleting all of those things, just kind of like going through and getting rid of them.
Wow. Oh, that's great and tragic. Really good. Way to bring it back home. All right. Well, that will bring our one shot of Swoop Gangs to a close. You guys have been a wonderful crew. I will always remember the broken circle and the fun times we've had on Corellia. Thank you so much for playing. And with this, I'll bring the recording to a close.